Hi guys, so welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to do a sample calculation on fluids and electrolytes in a pediatric patient. If you are not sure how to do it, please go watch the video I have made called Fluid and Management in Pediatrics. I will link it down in the description box below. Okay, so in this example, our patient will be 5 years old, and he will weigh 22 kilograms, and he has been vomiting for 4 days and has the serum sodium of 132. And I have assessed him and he is moderately dehydrated. Okay, so the first volume we're going to find is the volume maintenance. And I am going to use the Halliday-Segar rule, which is the 150-20 milliliters rule. Okay, so let's break this down. The kid is 22 kilograms, so that will be 10 kgs, plus another 10 kgs, plus the remaining 2 kgs. Okay, and for the first 10 kgs, each kilogram would receive 100 milliliters of water. So for 10 kgs, you just multiply it, 100 multiplied by 10, and you will end up with 1000 milliliters. Now the next 10 kgs would receive 50 ml per kilograms. So 50 multiplied 10 would be 500 milliliters. And the last remaining two, you're just going to have to multiply 20 by 2, so that would give you 40. Okay, so in total, this boy is going to need 1,400. So in total, this boy is going to need 1,540 mLs of water for maintenance. Okay, so let's save this value in a part of our brain. Now the next value we're going to talk about is the volume deficit, okay? And the formula for volume deficit is the percent dehydration multiply by 10 multiply by the body weight in kilograms, okay? From the question, I have mentioned that this boy is moderately dehydrated and he's 5 years old. So we are going to use 6% for this boy. So it's going to be 6 multiply 10 multiply his body weight, which is 22 kilograms. And what we will get is 1,320 milliliters deficit. Okay, so let's save that value too. So the third value we're going to talk about is the sodium maintenance. Okay, so the sodium maintenance formula, if you recall, is a 3 multiplied by volume maintenance divided by 100. Okay, and the volume maintenance that we found was 1,540. So that would be 3 multiplied by 1,540 divided by 100. Okay, so what we end up getting is 46.2 MEQs per day. Okay, all right. That's another value done. The fourth value that we're going to talk about is the sodium deficit, okay? And the formula for sodium deficit is volume deficit in liters, okay? Multiply by the percent ECF and multiply by 145. Now for the percent ECF, we have to establish whether this dehydration event is a chronic one or an acute one. And our cutoff point was 3 days. So this boy was vomiting for 4 days. That indicates us that it is a chronic dehydration. So the percent ECF that we will use is 0.6. Okay. And the volume deficit in liters, if you could recall, it's here, 1,320 milliliters. Now we're going to have to convert it to liters. So that will be 1.32 liters, okay? Multiply by 0.6 and multiply by 145. So what we'll end up getting is 114.8 MEQs per liter. Okay, and that's another volume done. All right, so the last value we're going to have to calculate is the sodium excess loss, because his serum sodium was 132, which is way below 135, okay? So the formula for this is the sodium desired, okay, minus the serum sodium. Then all of this you will multiply by 0.6 and the body weight in kilograms. Sodium desire is 135 minus his serum sodium 132, multiply 0.6, multiply 22. Okay, so the answer would be 39.6. Okay, so there we have it, all of our values needed. Okay, so now let's calculate during the first 8 hours. What would be our fluid choice and what would be the rate? So I have rewritten everything here, so it's easier to refer. Now let's get started. So the first value we're going to have to look for is the total volume, okay? So I'll abbreviate it as volume with a T. And if you could recall, the formula is maintenance fluid divided by 3 plus a deficit divide by 2, okay? So this, in this case, it would be 1,540 divided by 3 plus 1,320 divided by 2. Okay, perfect. So what we would get out here would be 1,173 milliliters per 8 hours. Okay, so this is the total volume needed within the first 8 hours. All right, so if I want to calculate the hourly rate, I'll just take 1,173, then divided by 8 hours. Okay, and what I would get is the rate of 146 milliliters per hour. Okay, so that is our volume total rate. So that would be our rate for our volume. Okay, now we have to talk about our sodium total. Okay, so sodium is a little bit more. There's more things we have to consider. So the maintenance sodium divide by 3 plus the deficit plus the excess, all of it, okay, together, divide by 2. Okay, that's the formula. So what we would get is 46.2 divide by 3 plus, plus 114.8 plus the excess, which is 46, which is 39.6. Okay, so what we would get is 46.2 divided by 3 plus 114.8 plus 39.6, and this would be then divided by 2. So that's 115.4 plus 77.2. Okay. And what you would get is 92.6 MEQs per 8 hour. And there we have it. All right. So in this 8 hour, this patient would need So within this 8 hours, this patient would need 1,733 ml volume. So within this 8 hours, this patient is going to need the total of 1,173 milliliters of volume and a total of 92.6 MEQ sodium. Okay. However, our hospital, we only have the 1,000 ml bags, right? The 1 liter bags. So how much sodium would we need in this 1000 milliliters bag? Okay, so that would dictate what fluid choice we will have. So how do we do that? So we do the crisscross thing, right? So it'd be 1000 milliliters multiplied by 92.6 and all of it divided by 1173 mLs, okay? So what we would get is 78.9, which I would then round it up to 79 MEQs of sodium needed, okay? So this 79 MEQ of sodium needed, I'm going to go and compare it with the fluids, okay, that has the closest sodium concentration in it. And the closest one right now would be dN over 2, right? Because the sodium concentration in dN over 2 is 77 MEQs. All right, so there we go. I have my fluid of choice. Now, if I'm going to write this in an order, I would say 5% dN over 2, 1000 mLs, okay? IV drip rate 146 ml per hour. Okay, and that's that. All right, so I have already shown you how to do the 8 hours. Now we're going to do the 16 hours. So you guys could pause the video here and try calculating it on your own first, then hit the play button to check and see if you are correct or not. So in this 16 hours, I'm not going to rewrite the formula. I'm just going to punch in the numbers so that we could save time. Okay, here we go. Volume total, 2 multiplied by 1540 divide by 3 plus 1320 divide by 2. Okay, what I would get is 1026 plus 660. So I would get 1686 ml per 16 hours. Okay, this is not 8 hours anymore, this is 16. Okay, so if I divide it to find my hourly rate, I would get 105 mLs per hour. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's our volume total. Now let's go for our sodium total. Okay, that's going to be 2 multiplied by 46.2 divide by 3 plus 114.8 plus 39.6. All of this add up and divide it by 2. So we'll end up having 30.8 plus 77.2. And we'll end up having 108 MEQs needed. Okay. All right. Fluids of choice next. This person is going to need 1,686 milliliters and 108 MEQs of sodium within the 16 hours. Now we're going to compare. We have only 1,000 ml in the hospital. So how much MEQ would that be? Okay, so that's 1,000 multiplied by 108, everything divided by 1,686. And what we end up getting is the sodium of 64.05 MEQs, which I would round down to 64. Okay, and with this, you could go and compare the fluid of choice. All right, so I hope this video was helpful for you guys. And if you have any further questions, comment down below and I'll try to get back to you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, and hit subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.